Okay, we've talked in previous videos about stress, high chronic cortisol, and all the negative effects it has on a fat loss plan. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look at that video. I just want to do this video on other ways to negate those effects, what to add in, stress relievers, because a lot of people are of the opinion that they need to do yoga and they need to meditate and do all these kind of hippie activities, and a lot of my clients will not and do not do those activities. Either do I. So there's plenty of other stuff, kind of quote normal day-to-day stuff we can do to add in to negate that effect, recharge our battery. Stress will take money out of our account, and what we're trying to do is deposit more in health bank accounts. So we're in the best possible position to have a good quality of life, lose fat and live well and all that good stuff. We want to prerequisite this in saying there are certain activities people think are stress relievers where they aren't. Any pleasurable dopamine hitting activities such as gambling, shopping, gaming, surfing the internet, watching movies, smoking, eating, drinking. These are activities, like I said, that produce dopamine in the brain, give us short-term pleasure. It's not the same as activities that will give us happiness and the activities that will relieve stress. True stress relieving activities produce GABA, produce oxytocin, these brain chemicals that actually relax us. If someone's anxious, more GABA in the brain in general will help that person wind down. These are yin type neurobrain chemicals, which is what we want trying to stimulate. Okay, so if you say, Sean, my stress relieving activity is sitting in front of Netflix for hours each day, well, it's not. You're not recharging your battery. You're making things worse and you're going to stay flat. So just be aware of the same as scrolling through Instagram and social media and the internet. They're not true stress relieving activities. There are lists by the American Psychological Association, the most effective stress relievers and stuff all used with clients. Exercising, playing sports. Obviously, we don't need to talk about the effects of that, but playing sports, I would say even just getting a hobby in general. Anything that will help you, there's a few aspects to it, connect with people. Any activity you're doing that will take your mind off the present and the past and stop you stressing out and just really focus on that certain activity, whether it's playing frisbee, handball. I would even count hobbies as coloring in, anything where you're in the moment and you stop thinking about anything else. That's what I will do jiu-jitsu, where I can kill two birds with one stone. It allows me to switch off and I actually get very, very recharged after. Reading, okay, listen to music. Could be, on here they have praying, attending religious service. Obviously, if you're not religious, that could be some kind of reflection, could be some kind of like gratitude, could be, like I said, some kind of guided meditation. Okay, I find it hard to do myself, but when I've done it before, it's a guided meditation. I use the Headspace app. I might do 5 minutes and they just talk you through that. Spending time with friends and family, which is massive, okay? All that stuff, we are social animals. And unfortunately, during this period where I'm filming, a lot of people are in lockdown isolation. That's massive stressful effects on the brain. So this is not so much talked about. When we feel a sense of a connection as humans, big de-stressful part in the brain. And in turn, in contrast, when we feel like we're isolated, that's very stressful in the brain, because in the evolutionary terms, we're kicked out of the tribe and we are at danger, and this is survival mechanisms that are kicking in. It could be even chatting with your friends and family on the phone. As a side note, when people may feel the urge to binge eat, a lot of time I'll tell them, okay, can you go and do something that will stress relief instead of eating food? Could be call a friend, call your family, whatever needs to be. Getting a massage, whatever type of massage you like. I'm gonna leave that up to the imagination. That is all stress relieving by nature. Even the actual touch of getting someone to touch you stimulates oxytocin in the brain, okay, which is important. You can try hug your partner, hug your friends, just hug everyone except little kids and strangers in the street. That all will play a part. Funny enough, jiu-jitsu does the same thing. Walking outside, they've seen just getting out in nature, some kind of greenery or some kind of coastline, whatever you can get, can decrease cortisol by 10% over the course of a week. They have put that down to our evolutionary brain, where if we see green, we see nature, we see water, any type of resources, talks to our brain at a subconscious level and says we have the resources we need to survive. So it's stress relieving by nature. Ever go? It could be for people getting out playing golf. That kills two birds with one stone. It's a hobby, it's exercise, steps, and they're out in nature as well. Which is why I always say, come back to that point, allows us to get our steps in if we can. We're burning calories. Okay, allows us to be a stress reliever. Which is why, if you have the choice and if the weather allows, try do your steps outside. Okay, as meditation, yoga. Again, gonna be okay for some people, and may do a yoga class in between their weight training days. Guided meditation, like I said, Calm app is great, CALM, Headspace. And the last one is engaging in a creative hobby. Could be chess, could be drawing, art. In Google, they give people coloring books with literally coloring. Anything where you're in the moment, that is a way to switch off the frontal lobe where we overthink things. It's a really human part of our brain, but that can also cause issues with overthinking, and we burn ourselves out that way. Some other things that I will throw in: hot, cold showers. So whether it's when you take a shower, it's very effective after training as well. So you'll basically put hot water on, just normal, doesn't need to be boiling, just hot, say 30 seconds, and then you may alternate with cold water. Whether how cold that is will depend on how used you are to doing it. It could be just luke cold, tiny bit, and you might go 30 seconds and alternate. What that does, vasodilation and vasoconstriction. So vasodilation is warm water where it opens the arteries and veins up, allows more blood flow in, and then when we constrict those arteries and veins, when we dilate them again, more blood flow goes in. So it's more fresh blood. It's real good for the vagus nerve. It's real good for the adrenaline, all these kind of stuff. Try in the morning if you're brave enough. Now again, it doesn't need to be ice water, and it's also very effective post-training, okay, because training is a stress. So if you finish off your shower with some cold water, or you do the alternating, trust me, that will be brilliant. Sauna is the same way. Any type of controlled stress we can put on the body, whether it's hot or cold temperature, has been seen to be brilliant. So again, if we have our weight training days, ideally we're trying to alternate stresses and recovery. So these might be your lower intensity days you put in, where it's a little bit of cardio, and then a sauna, and then a cold shower. So we're throwing it all in together. Could be some deep breathing. I'm going to do some more manual videos on how to breathe properly through your diaphragm. And that will be the main things. Obviously, turn the notifications off your phone, even WhatsApp, like seeing those two ticks after someone's read your message can be pretty stressful, because you go, fuck, I need to reply to that person. Getting some sunshine if you can allows, and then really focus on the sleep, as per the sleep videos we'll talk about. All these things will add up to really recharge, drop that cortisol down to where it's supposed to be, so we can function even at a normal level. Like I said before, evolutionary, our cortisol is only supposed to be raised for a really, really, really small portion of the day. You're going off, you're relaxing, you get chased by a lion. Spikes the cortisol, adrenaline, you run away, and then it comes back down and back to normal, and you're just laying around or walking around most of the day. Unfortunately, now it's the opposite. So we're chronically elevated. In terms of fat loss, you're going to be pissing against the wind if we don't control that. Try that. These are ones you can really practical and you can throw in on a daily basis. And focus the same way with steps. Focus, if you can, on the quantity of being able to do these things. So even if you're meditating, if you just meditate 3 times a day at 60-second intervals, that's perfect. It all adds up over the course of the day to reduce that down where you can. Same way, cold showers, hot cold showers, bit of deep breathing, and suddenly you have all these cortisol reducing things over the course of the day, or week, a month, or a year, that all add up. It doesn't need to be one big hour of trying to meditate, etc. Just small bits throughout the day when you can add in to mitigate that effect. Okay, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. Whatever ones you try out, let me know. I'll be very intrigued to see.